The grace of God is sufficient for you, church. People of God, good morning. My name is Nonofo Selabe, and I come from Muchudi. People of God, I am here to give the glory back to God, the God that has restored hope within me when I came to this place hopeless. I came to this ministry in the year 2016, but before I take you through my journey of when I was here in church, I will take you back to my upbringing. In the year when I was born, 3 months later, I lost my mother and I grew up never to know my father. So growing up, my grandmother is the one who raised me with my 3 other siblings. So this was a lot for her as she was growing old and was retired. I grew up like that with my grandmother as she could not meet all our needs. And going to junior school where now my grandmother fell sick, that is when now I began to miss school, having to take care of her. And as time went by, she really got severely sick to a point where we needed to have a helper. And that was made possible by my uncles. And shortly after we did get that helper, my grandmother did pass away. So that then meant that I was left alone, and then the helper, she took it upon herself, and by then I was doing like Form 2. So the helper then did decide to stay with me up until I really finished schooling. And the following year, when I was doing my Form 3, her sister then learned of my situation, and seeing that I really didn't have like a family to assist with my upbringing, and then she invited me to this ministry, and that was in 2016 when I set foot here. People of God, I was really frustrated by then as I was seeing what was happening in my life when I really didn't have any kind of support whatsoever from my family. And when I came here, I was really hopeless, as I had mentioned. And with the loving God that is really evident in this place, on that very day, I was privileged to receive the prophecy from the man of God, Prophet Cedric. The man of God spoke about the issue where he said that when I was young, I saw something that I was not supposed to see, and that brought about a spiritual husband and a strange discharge that was coming. In confirmation to these words of prophecy, I do believe that these words of prophecy are nothing but true, because since I was young, I could not remember the exact incident that the prophet was talking about, but I do confirm of the discharge that I had. By then, like I had mentioned, it was like in the year 2016, and I was 16 years old, and already I was having excessive discharge. And with the issue of spiritual husband, I would have like weird dreams whereby I would see like really older men using me. And each time I would share this with my family, they scolded me because they believed I was too young to be talking about such things. So there, after prayer, I did see the differences whereby now the discharge had stopped, as well as the issue of the spiritual husband. People of God, on that very day when I received the words of prophecy, I had the privilege to also meet the servant of God. Mind you, I think it is important to note that this was my very first time in this ministry, and God really saw my frustrated heart and used his able servant to get me where I am today. So during that encounter with the man of God, he asked what I was doing at school, and I did tell him that I was like in Form 3, and then he said that he enrolled me for the PPS initiative, and after learning of the situation back at home, I was then enrolled into the outreach program, whereby I was given monthly food hampers. People of God, since now, I was shocked during that encounter because that was my very first time coming to this church, and as I got here, I realized that there were like a lot of people in this place, and it made me wonder how really a follow-up was going to be made to ensure that I really get all the things that the man of God was talking about, because at that time I really needed them, since back at home it was a struggle to even have food to the table. And indeed, the prophet kept his promise, and each and every month I would get food hampers and even get assisted with having the proper school uniform to wear. This encouraged me, and the PPS initiative would come like each and every Saturday to study and to revise for our exams. At the end, as I had mentioned before that I had to take care of my grandmother and miss school, it had affected my academics, as I would always get an overall grade C. And after being a part of the PPS program, I attained a grade B for my JC exams. Proceeding to senior school, again, the man of God ensured that I had the proper school uniform, and also made sure that I had like monthly transport to go to school, since the school that I was going to was far by then from where I stayed. And all these were really encouraging me to perform good and to work hard on my studies, so as to, because I wasn't like lacking, as the man of God like met all my needs. And therefore, for my final like BGSE examinations, I attained 40 points. The situation had affected my siblings, as they are like 7 years older than me, and they were for their Form 5, they did not pass, and they didn't even go up to tertiary level. And I was the first among them to get 40 points and to even be accepted at a university. I had challenges with the course that I was doing, but I did continue to put on the effort. And one fateful day, the servant of God asked me how I was performing at school, and I did tell him that I was attaining a GPA of 3.0, and when he heard that, he said that these are bad marks. I should be getting 3.8 if I work harder, and even if I put more effort, even 4.0, I can reach. So when I had these words of prophecy, he also did say that where I am coming from shouldn't have to determine my future, but rather the situation, this background that I was coming from should really make me to want to work hard so that I have a brighter future. And the other thing that I forgot to mention was that the servant of God also said that I am supposed to be the umbrella of the family. So with these words, I continue to go back and look at where I was missing, continue to put on the hard work. And people of God, the prophet asked what I was getting, and I told him that I was getting at 3.0. And then he said, if I put more effort, I could go to 3.8, but if I continue to work even harder, even a 4.0 is the GPA that I can be able to attain. And people of God, on my very last semester of my studying at University of Botswana, I got a 4.0 GPA and a cumulative of 3.8 that the man of God talked about.
Let us bless Master Jesus Christ. So you mean to say that the young girl who came here hopeless, 16-year-old, who had lost her mother, lost her grandmother who was her guardian, now stands before us as a graduate? Is that what you are telling us?
Yes, people of God, and not just a graduate. I am a 2 times graduate, as I also attained my Master of Arts in Urban and Regional Planning.
Let us bless Master Jesus Christ.
People of God, this is the moment I will forever cherish, where I received my very first prophecy, and this was 26 June 2016, and here I am with the lady who had invited me to this very ministry. I did mention that I went to study. Okay, this is the GPA that the prophet was talking about. These are my names, Nonofo Selabe, and this is the 4.0 and the 3.75, which runs to a 3.8 that the prophet talked about. This is my first degree, and it is written Selabe Nonofo Boto, Bachelor of Science, Urban and Regional Planning. This is my second degree, and it's written Selabe Nonofo Boto, Master of Arts, Professional in Urban and Regional Planning. And this, people of God, this is me on the very first graduation where I was doing my Bachelor of Science. And this is me on the second graduation when I got my Master of Arts. People of God, I also did forget to mention a very important, the Prophet Cedric did sponsor my whole outfit from head to toe for both the graduations. And today I do stand here as it's written, this certifies that Nonofo Selabe is registered as a graduate physical planner and entitled to practice such in the Republic of Botswana. Before I do give my word of encouragement, I would really want to take this time to thank the man of God, Prophet Cedric, for the impact that he has done in my life, because I wouldn't be standing here as a 2 times graduate, and I wouldn't be where I am now if not for his prayers, if not for his support. And I really do thank you, the man of God. My word of encouragement, I think it goes back to the 3G Ministries partners and even those who have really been assisting with who have been fulfilling their role of giving in God's house, because I am a testimony of really where your offerings have been going to, and not only me, there are also others that the prophet has been assisting, and this is where your offering has been going. It is indeed an investment, and it is changing lives. Thank you, Jesus.